Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive logistical crisis that is fundamentally rewriting international trade and environmental tech as we know it. We're looking at a scenario where geopolitical trade wars, strict environmental regulations, and cutting-edge edge AI are all crashing together in real time. This isn't just about moving materials around anymore. It's about how the entire framework of cross-border commerce is forcing heavy industries to either evolve right now or face a real existential threat. Welcome to the story of the Sentient Bridge. 3.46 million tons. I mean, just pause and think about that number for a second. That staggering figure represents the sheer volume of municipal solid waste, or MSW, that Ontario, Canada exports to Michigan landfills every single year. It is this massive, relentless convoy of materials rolling across the border day in and day out. And for decades, it's just been the easiest, cheapest relief valve for Ontario's entire waste management system. To put that into perspective, Ontario's exported trash actually absorbs over 14%, 14.35% to be exact, of all the waste buried in the entire state of Michigan. That means roughly 1 out of every 7 tons of garbage sitting in a Michigan landfill actually originated from across the Canadian border. It's a highly precarious, totally codependent flow of materials that thousands of businesses rely on just to stay afloat. So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the Ontario-Michigan Waste Corridor. 2, tariffs and the capacity cliff. 3, the Sentient Bridge solution. 4, the Pixel AI and digital refinery. 5, data is the real product. And finally, 6, leading the circular bioeconomy. Let's get right into it. Section 1, the Ontario-Michigan Waste Corridor, the 1899.86 problem. Well, it all really comes down to this jaw-dropping financial arbitrage legally protected by the U.S. Commerce Clause. If you're in the Greater Toronto Area, you're looking at a floor price of around $189 Canadian just to dump a single ton of commercial waste. But if you put that exact same ton on a truck and drive it straight down the I-75 to Michigan, the state tipping fee has historically been a mere 36 cents U.S. It is just vastly, vastly cheaper to export the problem than to actually deal with it at home. Section 2. Tariffs and the capacity cliff. The walls close in. But we are currently watching a perfect storm of policy shifts completely disrupting this. Down in Washington, Donald Trump's administration is escalating trade policies, utilizing Section 338 of the Tariff Act to mandate sweeping 50% tariffs on processed goods, while navigating a highly volatile USMCA, or CUSMA, review process. Concurrently, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer is proposing a 14-fold hike in tipping fees to $5 a ton to deter out-of-state dumping. And back in Canada, Ontario Premier Doug Ford is urgently pushing Bill 5 to build domestic disposal capacity. Why? Because without that U.S. border valve, Ontario is literally staring down a total system exhaustion, a brutal capacity cliff by 2034. So what does this all mean for the industry? It means the traditional flat-fee disposal model is completely obsolete. Clinging to the old ways of doing things in this gridlocked new era means taking on immense regulatory risk. If you're carrying unverified contaminants in your trucks, you're going to slam directly into those severe cross-border tariffs and transshipment penalties. The days of blindly shipping mixed liabilities across an international border are over. Section 3. The Sentient Bridge solution, entering the digital refinery. This macro crisis is exactly what primed the market for a company called 905 Wood and their digital refinery. They completely flipped the script by integrating a seamless UI/UX workflow. It starts with a simple request for quote, moves to on-site AI verification of the actual materials, automatically generates a USMCA compliance certificate of origin, and then outputs a crystal clear compliance PDF. They are literally acting as a sentient bridge, taking chaotic construction waste and refining it into a transparent, legally protected asset that breezes through customs using verified exemptions. Section 4. Pixel AI and digital refinery, the tech stack. Now, the hardware making this level of compliance possible at the absolute edge of the supply chain is fascinating. By operationalizing the brand new Google Pixel 11 Pro running Android 17 and the Light RTA iStack, 905 Wood has created a mobile compliance gate. A field operator can run compressed machine learning models locally, meaning off-grid edge inference classification, to validate material purity right out in the construction yard. The Pixel 11 Pro acts as a hardware-attested root of trust, making absolutely sure the log data is cryptographically secure. Section 5. Data is the real product, the paradigm shift.
And this brings us to the absolute core thesis of this entire explainer. We need to completely reframe how we view logistics. The physical bin sitting on a site, it's just a Trojan horse for data collection. The term you absolutely need to know is DMRV, Digital Measurement, Reporting, and Verification. 95 Wood's value shifts entirely to this DMRV and provenance data cut. The physical wood is just the vehicle being used to generate this highly lucrative data asset. The data itself, not the wood, is the real product.
Because when you possess that verifiable data, you suddenly unlock premium global markets. This high-purity, audit-ready PDF documentation trail actually satisfies the incredibly rigorous demands of the Puro.Earth registry. To issue biocarbon credits, Puro.Earth demands high-purity biomass validation, cryptographically attested records, and a peer-reviewed evidence defense. 905 Wood's SaaS application bridges that gap perfectly between messy municipal waste and the pristine biocarbon market.
And the financial payoff for doing this? It is staggering. $7,660 Canadian. That is the potential value of the core carbon dividends generated from just a single load of wood when it's validated at this premium DMRV tier. By routing verified clean wood to high-temperature pyrolysis to create stable biocarbon, you aren't just saving on some tipping fees. You are quite literally minting an entirely new, highly valuable revenue stream from the data.
Section 6. Leading the Circular Bioeconomy, a three-sided marketplace. To make this work, 905 Wood uses a brilliant decoupled billing architecture. The SaaS platform retains 100% of that massive carbon credit value, which completely offsets their AI hardware and software development costs. In return, they offer transparent, low-levy logistics rates passed straight through to the contractors. It is a completely self-funding economic model, a three-sided marketplace that firmly secures Ontario's industrial leadership in the Canadian circular bioeconomy.
So as we wrap up, with those cheap, easy border exits completely disappearing, it's really time to ask a serious question about your own logistics. In an era of escalating tariffs and closing landfills, how does your business plan to survive the impending capacity cliff?
In the modern, highly regulated waste trade, survival means turning your physical liabilities into verified, audit-ready data. Like we've seen today, the physical wood is just how the data gets made. The verified data is the real product. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.